Okay. Hello and welcome to our live stream. We are hopefully live in 3 different places. Our intention was to be live in our private Facebook group, One Breath Breathwork Community, that we invite you to join. We are also live, I believe, on our One Breath Institute Facebook business page, and we, I believe, are also live on our YouTube channel. So this is exciting. This is a first for us doing this. And so welcome. I see a couple of people entering the space, and we are live through StreamYard. So I believe if you want to make a comment that we see, I believe you need to log into StreamYard. There should be instructions just above, and if not, we'll see your comments later. All right. I am Lisa McNett. I am the founder of One Breath Institute. And with me, we have
over here. I'm Debbie Sherman. I'm the co-founder of One Breath Institute. So welcome, you guys. And Lisa, yes, I am confirming on my phone that we are live. So it's very nice to see ourselves. And for those who are joining in now and in the future, give us a like so that we know you are here and we can say hello to you.
Perfect. Well, we this morning are coming in. We are inspired to connect with the heart space, because our heart space, and when we connect with our heart space, when we connect with the frequency of our heart space, healing happens. So much potential, so much healing, so much opening is available. And there's so many different levels to that. So, Debbie, I'm going to invite you to share the energetics of the heart space and just how big that resonance frequency is and what happens when we come into coherence.
I'm sure I'm going to get there to that question. And what's coming through right now is I want to just talk about love. What is love? So a lot of people experience love to be in relationship to something external from the self. And oftentimes that love, that concept of love, is in an intimate relationship, a romantic relationship, sometimes can be felt in deep friendships or even in our family relationships. And then also bringing forth what One Breath Institute really supports is that self-loving relationship, right? So coming from a place of self-love and from that magnitude of how much one can engage in that self-loving relationship can really project and reflect how our relationships externally thrive in healthy ways. And so the concept of love, right? There's all these sayings of, oh, it's something that can only be felt. Oh, it's something that can only be felt. Like, what is all these things with love? And so it is felt in the heart space. So even as I'm using the word love, right? You can say it to yourself, love. And just notice where you feel that in your body. And if you're having a challenging time or maybe some resistance and feeling it into the body, you can invite a hand and place it over your heart and have that connection. Because it radiates from the heart. It is literally what is moving. The energetics is what is pulsing the blood, what is moving the blood, right? When we are not in a space of love, or maybe when we feel love is lost, oftentimes that response can feel separation. It can feel isolation. It can feel alone. It can almost feel as if we are no longer living in many ways. And so the love and the frequency, right? Like we are We are more than the physical body, and we emit a frequency. We emit a emotion. For those who are not understanding frequency at this time, we emit an emotion. And when we emit an emotion of love, then it truly does radiate externally in all directions of our being and is felt and reflected by so many other people. So an example of this would be you're in a room and someone who is just feeling love comes into the room, and automatically they could be coming from in behind you, but automatically you start shifting because you are feeling that magnetic pull towards that loving space. And this is a concept that applies to every emotion because every emotion has its own frequency. And so just wanting to highlight again, love is union. So it is in relationship, it is connected to, and that itself is union. And so a self-loving relationship is connecting to the oneness of yourself, to connecting to your source, your belief systems, your values, your wishes, your desires, your everything that you could ever want and hope and wish for yourself in your life, right? Everything, really, all the things that you would want your life to look and feel like is where love exists. It is a birthright to have this emotion. Okay, and so I'm going to reflect back. Lisa, what was your question initially? what was that?
Doesn't even matter. What that
Okay.
you perfectly answered it. Yeah, the question was to share a little bit about the frequency of the heart and what happens when we come into coherence. And
Mm.
what you shared was absolutely beautiful and absolutely perfect. And if there's anything more you want to add about,
Yeah, there is something else that's coming through. So something that I've experienced, right? Because love is an experience. We understand love when we are in an embodied place, when we are in connection to ourselves. And so I experienced love to be magnified the day that I held my child. And so that love, that pure love, that true love was a new experience to myself that I felt in the presence of my child. And that was just a relationship that ignited that sensation. And I really believe that we can experience that sensation, that magnitude of pure love or true love, however we want to use those words, of love itself, in every aspect. And essentially, every life experience is an opportunity to ignite that sensation, right? Like, it could be connecting in nature. Like, there are also times where I've been connected to nature and being in that oneness where I'm just ignited and have a different level of experience of what this love is. And it's truly radiating. And it's not only giving externally, but it is also receiving. It is a energy that is in flow and continuous motion. So it's not like a give and take concept that maybe we think love to be in family relationships or intimate, or even in like social dynamics and friendships, right? It's not a give or take. You do this for me, I do this for you. The sensation of love is really just embodying love so that it is felt first through us to connect to externally, sure. And then it is also reciprocated, right? It is naturally just reciprocated because what we experience is ultimately what we will feel in our life. So, yeah, I wanted to highlight in that piece what dripped in was, yeah, the ignition, I guess. And I want to find a different word that doesn't make me think of a car, but or like some mechanical thing, but yeah, we're like it's lighting up, right? And those I know people who have connected with someone and you are just in such pure true connection. You're just like curious about everything and you want to know more and you want to feel into it even more. Like this loving space and this loving sensation, this true loving sensation is us. It is us. We are love. We are little no, we're not little, actually. We're very expansive. But how I imagined that was like little puzzle pieces going all over, like little bubbles of love everywhere. But really, there's no bubble around the sensations of love. Or I will change that metaphor and put little suns. We are all little suns. I used to say little flames, little fires, but now we're little suns in our own galaxy, radiating this love, connecting to kindness, right? Because that's what love is too. Love is kindness, love is generosity, love is all, it's just all us. Yeah. What else, Lisa?
I
Let's
want to bring in another piece because you have brought in the beautiful pieces, like the piece of how you felt that love ignite when you had birthed and held, birthed your daughter and you held her for the first time. And not everybody has had that experience. And so I just want to highlight that you don't need to have that experience, but you brought in some of those more those beautiful connections that we can share. How when we're in a beautiful connection with somebody, we're vibing, we're wanting to know more, we're wanting to be in that more. And I want to bring in like I do, the other side, the other piece of that, and that is that we have access to love through healing our traumas, that we have access to love through healing our traumas, and that for somebody who might be listening, who might feel somewhat frustrated because, well, I haven't had that sensation, right? Maybe you haven't had that sensation of just feeling in those positive vibes and those positive loves. um, you may have had this type of scenario that I'm about to share with you, and I want you to know that this is just as much love. This is just as much connecting with love, and that is when you heal. And if you haven't been through this, then join us at One Breath Institute for healing, and you will experience this. But healing an aspect of yourself, right? So going through and kind of digging in and connecting with and being with and allowing yourself to feel some of your perceived negative or perceived, negative experiences and negative emotions. When we go through a process of through breath work or through movement or through any kind of embodied practice where we move through that to the other side, on the other side is like a it's a lightness, it's a peace, it's a connection that wasn't there before. And when we do this in groups and when we do this in relationship, then what happens is we come into coherence with each other. So what happens, when we work together, client and or facilitator and client, or even just in groups together, and we move through these big things of healing together, we come out and we're not only connected to ourself in a different way and feeling more loving to ourself in a different way, but we feel more connected to the group and more in synchronicity with each other. And in that space, no words even need to be said. And sometimes they are said, and sometimes there is that deepening of connection. But that's the piece about coherence that I wanted to kind of bring in, is that Debbie mentioned how much we radiate that love, and when we're in a group, when we're together, even if we're online, we come to a place where we feel that and that peace and that lightness and that connection. And if we drop into that connection more, right? Drop into that more and expand it and let it get bigger because there are no boundaries to it, then it's a psychic place, really. It is a psychic place because we're all just you feel it, you sense it. It's there. It's a warm blanket, it's a warm pillow, and there's so much healing in that. So that's what we're gonna invite us all to do today is to sink into that and to drop into that. And you might be feeling some sensations already, either just through our discussion or through feeling Debbie and I, right? Like pure love is pure love is something that can be accessed anytime, anywhere. And it's just a matter of if you're willing and to let it in, if we're willing to allow and to let it in. And that's it. So we can open up to the idea that maybe there's some pure love I can bring in. And then we can feel into, well, how can I do that? How can I bring that in? So it might be connecting through your heart space. And for you, it might be something completely different. So I'll just leave you with that question of like, yeah, how can I bring more pure love into my being? Yeah, before we drop into the practice, is there anything more, Debbie?
This is, yeah, there we go. This is why so many singers and artists say, or maybe wise women say, all you need is love, because it is healing in itself. It is connection in itself. And so when we are in that space of allowing to either however it is for you in that moment, right? The concepts of bringing in more love or to expand and allow more love, radiate more, it all kind of works the same. Then that in itself and its healing, and it comes all the way wrapping around to you are whole, you are enough, you are worthy. There's nothing much more you need to do but to connect with yourself and have that embodied love experience. So that's what we're going to do, right? We're going to guide that. And I would like for you, if you feel willing, Lisa, wherever you are on this side or this side, to to guide that if you feel available.
Yeah, so you don't need to do anything different. If you are in a place where you can sit down and get comfortable, then I invite you to do that. You can lay down if you want, or you can just stand softly, even if you're taking a walk. Doesn't matter what you're doing, you can do this practice. And so wherever you are, I invite you to if it's okay to close your eyes, close your eyes. And if not, just draw the eyes in a little bit. So if we're really focused externally, right, our eyeballs can be pushing like forward and out. So what if you just pull the eyeballs back in a little bit and just let them gaze towards the tip of the nose, right? That's a completely different sensation than wide open eyeballs. So you can do that, or you can close your eyes. And yes, that was a nice breath, Debbie. I'm going to invite us to take a few nice breaths, whatever that means to you. Deepen your breath, slow your breath. Do you want to breathe through your nose or through your mouth, or maybe in through your nose and out through your mouth? That's what sounds good to me. I think I'm going to invite in through the nose and then a sigh on the exhale through the mouth. Because that helps us to soften and release the jaw as well. Take a couple more in through the nose and out through the mouth, really slow and sigh. Good. And keep the jaw soft. And notice your shoulders. Maybe lift them towards your ears and then bring them back and down so that they can just drop down and stay there. Let your elbows be soft and your wrists and your hands soften as well. And I invite you to connect with your heart space. If you want to, you can bring one or both hands there. And it's not necessary, just be aware of where your heart is inside your body. And notice how that heart space feels. The chest and the back behind your heart space. And take some nice breaths. We're not trying to change anything, we're just being aware of how we feel all around the heart space, and take some breaths in and out of the heart space. Yeah, and if there were a door, if there were a doorway to your heart, locate that door. It might surprise you where that door is. Just locate that door, wherever the doorway to your heart space is. And what color is that door? Is it a large door or a small door? Find the doorknob. What does the doorknob look like? Is it round? Is it another shape? Is it smooth? Rough? Cold? Hot? And you get to choose how wide you open the doorway that goes to your heart. Right? So we're considering that in a moment, not yet, but in a moment, we're going to open that door. And it's your choice how wide the doorway opens. So go ahead and place your hand on the knob. Hold it there. Take some breath. And when you're ready, open the door. Any amount. And allow some pure love to come through that doorway, to flood the heart space, to really enwrap your heart. You don't have to think about this too much. It's just an invitation to allow that pure love more deeply into the heart, because the door is open. And if you only cracked your door, but you're liking this, know that you can open the door more widely. You can also break the door off if you want. And just allow a pure love to come into the heart. And that might have a sensation, it might have a color, it might even have a sound or a temperature. And as this pure love is coming in more and more to the heart, I want you to now bring it down from the heart, down into your belly, down through the intestines, down into your pelvis, and down through your legs. Your knees, your ankles, your feet, through the feet and into the earth. Let that pure love, let there be a cycle of pure love flooding your heart space and then coming down from your heart through the torso, through the pelvis, down through the legs, through the feet, and all the way down into the earth. And we'll take a few more minutes in silence of just this practice. Pure love coming through the heart, down through the torso, down through the legs, down into the earth. And what if this is all you need to do? And while you're here, while you're in this space of openness and connection and pure love, if it feels appropriate to you, only if it feels appropriate to you, I invite you to, what I want to do right now is I want to say that I open myself up to align with my highest, best, most beneficial timeline.
And for me, it's coming more in sensations. But I invite myself to remember this loving, truest love connection that comes from me connecting to the earth. And through this remembrance, I can connect and allow these sensations to embody and wash I almost can see it in sensations like rising up past the head and stepping into stepping into what we were talking about earlier, that frequency.
So with that reminder and that remembrance and that intention that we can come here anytime we want to, I invite us to turn our awareness to the external environment. Yeah, Debbie's taking some movement. Maybe there's a little bit of movement or stretching, or she'll want to shake it off a little bit. What does your body want?
I'm stepping in it. So I am pulling it all in. Or it's already here, it's already us, but it feels like that sensation of pulling it all in.
Perfect. Well, thank you for participating with us today. I invite you to reopen your eyes, and I invite you to stay here, right? As you move throughout your day, you get to choose how much here in this vibration and in this frequency that you get to stay in and keep with you. So thank you for participating with us. And we would love to hear about your experience with this. So please leave a comment after and tag someone. Share this with somebody who, I was going to say somebody who could benefit from connecting with some pure love, but that's everybody. So share this with everybody. Share this with whoever you think might resonate with what we've created for you here today. Debbie, anything you wish to add?
No. We're here for you.
Yes, we are. We have breathwork sessions every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. If you are not part of our community and you want to know how to join those, comment or message us. Talk to you soon.
Bye, everyone.